In just 7 days, the war cost $116 billion and resulted in the loss of hundreds of American soldiers, making it one of the most costly conflicts for the US in terms of both human and material resources. The impact on Iraq was even more devastating, with approximately 10,000 Iraqi soldiers killed. In July 1990, peace seemed promising in the Middle East as foreign ministers convened in Geneva. Iraq's leader, Saddam Hussein, initially appeared willing to end the conflict and return occupied territories. However, he soon reversed his position, accusing Kuwait and Saudi Arabia of siphoning oil from the Al Rumaila field, cancelling Iraq's $30 billion debt and keeping oil prices low to damage Iraq's economy. On August 2, 1990, Saddam Hussein ordered the invasion of Kuwait, anticipating support from Arab nations and avoiding international intervention. However, 2/3 of the Arab League's 21 members condemned Baghdad's actions.
The United States strongly condemns the Iraqi military invasion of Kuwait.
Saudi Arabia and the Kuwaiti government in exile sought help from the US and NATO allies. That night, 3 Iraqi divisions crossed the border and attacked Kuwait. Iraqi forces quickly occupied Kuwait and continued to reinforce their positions. On August 3, 1990, the United Nations demanded Iraq withdraw, but Iraq did not comply. On August 8th, Iraq officially annexed Kuwait, calling it the 19th province of Iraq. On the same day, the US dispatched its first fighter jets to Saudi Arabia in preparation for a military campaign against Iraq. Iraq increased its occupation force to around 300,000 soldiers, and Saddam Hussein declared a jihad against the coalition. On January 29, 1991, the UN Security Council passed Resolution 678, authorizing the US-led coalition to use all necessary means to remove Iraqi forces from Kuwait, with a compliance deadline of January 15, 1991. By that time, the coalition had mobilized around 750,000 troops, including 540,000 Americans and soldiers from 38 other countries. On January 17, 1991, Operation Desert Storm began with a large-scale air campaign. Fighter jets from US and British aircraft carriers attacked targets in Iraq. Throughout the night, the coalition bombed targets, including weapons factories and oil fields. Operation Desert Storm showcased Western technological military superiority, including stealth bombers, cruise missiles, and precision-guided bombs. Iraqi resistance was weak and quickly overwhelmed. Saddam Hussein launched Scud missiles attacks on Israel and Saudi Arabia, hoping to provoke Israel into the conflict and thereby split Arab support for the US campaign. However, at the request of the US, Israel refrained from entering the war. Operation Desert Storm also marked the first use of the US MIM-104C Patriot missile system in combat to intercept Scud missiles fired by Iraq at Israel. This event highlighted the deployment of stealth weapons, precision-guided missiles, and space support on the battlefield. On February 24, 1991, the coalition launched Operation Desert Saber, a major ground assault that quickly overwhelmed the poorly equipped Iraqi forces. Kuwait was swiftly liberated, and within a week, President Hussein declared a ceasefire. On March 6, 1991, the UN called on Iraq to adhere to the ceasefire and cease military activities. The Gulf War ended with Iraq's defeat and withdrawal from Kuwait. However, the consequences of the conflict continued to affect the region and the world. In 2003, President George Walker Bush, acting without UN approval, demanded that Saddam Hussein resign and leave Iraq within 48 hours, threatening war if he did not comply. Hussein's refusal led to the outbreak of the Second Gulf War, commonly known as the Iraq War. On March 20, 2003, a second war between Iraq and the US-led coalition erupted, aimed at removing Hussein from power and locating Iraq's weapons of mass destruction. Saddam Hussein was captured by US troops on December 13, 2003, and was executed on December 30, 2006. And there you have it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth analyses of historical events.